Hi, my name is Matthew Fan. I'm a software consultant with Quest. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use Toad Data Studio to migrate an Oracle database to Postgres. In particular, how you can use Toad to help you move procedural code like functions, packages, stored procedures, which is often the hardest part of a migration. Many people are trying to save on their IT spend and are looking to move away from Oracle and onto other platforms like Postgres. In this example, I'll assume that you've already migrated the tables, data, and views over. IrwinDM is a popular choice for migrating schema structures, and Shareplex will help you replicate data over from Oracle to Postgres in real time. Now the tricky part is migrating the stored procedures, because the syntax and the structures of the two databases are not the same. Toad has been around for 30 years, and using Toad Data Studio's multi-platform capabilities, I'll be able to connect to both Oracle and Postgres at the same time from the same user interface. I'm going to inventory my Oracle environment into a version control system and track our progress. I'll use GitHub in today's example. I can pull up the Oracle code inside of Toad, then use Toad's feature called AI Explain to document what that code does exactly. Then I'll leverage the AI chatbot like Copilot and provide it with all this information from Toad in order for the LLM to accurately recreate the code for Postgres. Then I'll take that code and compile it using Toad, and then I'll run some tests to confirm that it functions correctly inside of Postgres. Then I'll document and label that object has been migrated inside of version control. Let's begin. All right, so I'm inside of Toad Data Studio, and I've connected to my Oracle environment. You can see the contents of my Oracle environment down here in the Object Explorer. I can see my HR_new schema with its tables and some of its stored procedures. I'm also connected to Postgres, so if I double click here, I'll now see the contents of my Postgres environment. I've got some tables, but I've got no stored procedures over here just yet. So that's the first value of Toad Data Studio, being able to connect to many different database platforms from one single user interface. Let's go back up to the Oracle environment. And let's go back down to the HR_new schema. I can integrate my Oracle environment with version control. Let's right click on the new schema and open up the source control over to Action Center. So right now it's showing me that my objects in the Oracle environment are synchronized with the code that I have in source control. Let's go ahead and make a quick change. Let's right click on the Add Job History, go to the Operations, and alter this procedure. Let's go ahead and say Matt is working on this procedure. All right, let's go ahead and compile those changes to the Oracle environment. And let's check the Action Center once again. Let's refresh here. And it's showing me that in my database, Matt is working on this procedure, but in the GitHub repository, it's still work in progress. Let's go ahead and apply this to the main branch so that everybody on my team knows that Matt is working on this stored procedure. Go ahead and commit those changes. And that message has now been put into the repository so my colleagues know that I'm working on it. If I go over to my browser and refresh, I can see that same comment, Matt is working on the stored procedure. It was just updated just now. Okay, so let's go back into Toad Data Studio. And let's take a look at that piece of code again. I've got the code. Let's go ahead and copy it. Let's also invoke Toad's AI feature to explain and document what this code does. This provides me with a quick summary of what this code is supposed to do. Its variables, its parameters, its output, things like that. This is going to help whatever AI I choose to understand the purpose of this code better. So just like that, Toad generates a quick summary that explains exactly what this code does. its purpose, its components, and an explanation. So I'm going to use this information to drive an AI solution to produce Postgres code. So let's paste in my code. Let's also grab that summary. And paste that in as well. Now I can choose whatever LLM I want to help me with this code migration. So I'll copy this whole thing. In this example, I'm going to use Copilot. So let's go back over to my GitHub and let's open up Copilot. I'm going to ask Copilot, help me convert this Oracle stored procedure and make it a Postgres procedure. And I'm going to say code and paste that in. Let's also have the explanations and summary as well. I'm going to say details. And this is going to provide the LLM with enough context to help me rewrite this stored procedure for Postgres. Awesome. So it's going to give you the Postgres version of this Oracle stored procedure. And you can see that in Postgres, the syntax is a little bit different. Let's go ahead and copy this and bring this back over to Toad. Let's now jump over to my Postgres environment and open up an editor window. Let's paste this code in and execute it. The code compiled successfully. Let's go ahead and go down to my procedures and refresh. And the code is available there. Okay, so I was able to compile the code. Now let's test it. If I go back to Copilot, so if I go back here, usage, calling the store procedure, here's an example. Let's go ahead and copy that, bring that back over to Toad. Let's open up a new editor window, paste that in, and test that code that was generated. And it ran successfully. So we added 101 dev 50 to the job history table. Let's check that out. Let's go to job history, view the details, and take a look at the data. We've got 101, dev, and 50. So I verified that the code moved over and is working correctly inside of Postgres. Let's go back over to Oracle and let's update everybody else to let them know that this code has been migrated. So let's go back to the job history and say migrated. Compile that to my database. And then let's check that into version control as well. Back to the Action Center. And let's commit the changes. Let's commit the comment that this code has been migrated into my GitHub account. The database and source are in sync. And if I go over to GitHub and go back to my repository, I'll hit refresh. And I see the code has been migrated. And I can click on it and see who did that migration. So that's how I can use Toad Data Studio to connect and work on both Oracle and Postgres from a single IDE. Be able to change track using our version control integration, then using AI to explain what my code does in Oracle, bring a copy of my code and that explanation over to an LLM, have that LLM translate that to a Postgres code, and then compile it inside of Postgres. I could do all that from inside of Toad. And that's going to save me a lot of time and make this migration process a lot easier. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more videos. Bye.